Interstellar has a lot of phrases that are really common in American English. So let me show you how to use them, what they mean, and give you tons of examples from real life.
We have a mission. Our mission does not work if the people on Earth are dead by the time we pull it off.
I love this phrase. To pull something off means to complete something successfully. But you wouldn't say something like, "Mom, I pulled off my homework." We usually use pull off when the thing you're doing is difficult or even seems impossible. For example, you're in a really difficult math class and you need a really good mark on your quiz, but you know you're gonna fail. And then suddenly when you write the quiz, you come out with an excellent mark, then you could say, "Hey, I pulled off the test." If you're a high achiever or someone who doesn't like to take the easy route, keep this phrase in mind.
Pull off this genius routine. One actually has to be a genius.
These guys will need to run 3 times faster than the fastest man on Earth in order to pull this off.
So if it is impossible, how did they pull it off?
I'm teaching today with FluentU. I really love this program for my students who are learning English, and for me, I'm learning French. FluentU uses real-world videos like the trailer that we're looking at today, or commercials or music videos, and it turns them into language lessons. I love to use FluentU to learn because I'm learning French for content made for native speakers, not from materials made for learners, which means my accent is better, I learn faster, and I get to learn about French culture too. If you want to follow along while I'm teaching today, I'm going to leave a link in the description for a free trial of FluentU, so check it out.
We want to get down fast, don't we?
Actually, we want to get there in one piece.
Here's the meaning of the individual words of "get there in one piece." However, as a phrase, "get there in one piece" means to arrive safely. To help you remember, think about if you've ever ordered something fragile online. Maybe you worried that your item would arrive and be broken. In other words, it would be broken into many pieces. You would want the item to arrive in one piece, that is, it's not broken. This is a phrase that my parents used a lot when I first got my driver's license. When I would go out driving, my mom would say, "Make sure you get there in one piece," meaning make sure you don't crash the car and end up broken.
This world's a treasure.
A tragedy means a shocking or a terrible event. For example, this word is used to describe famous Shakespeare plays that have really sad endings. Usually, everybody dies. With that in mind, what do you think that Matthew McConaughey meant when he said, "This world is a tragedy"? He's kind of setting the scene for the trailer in the movie. He's telling us that in this movie, the world is a disaster and people won't be able to live on it anymore.
This world's a treasure. It's been telling us to leave for a while now.
A while is a super common expression in English that means a period of time, any period of time. This phrase is really flexible. If someone says to you, "Oh, I'll be there in a while," it's pretty much impossible to know when they're going to arrive.
You mind if we park for a while?
You're the best pilot we ever had. Get out there and save the world.
I really love the phrase, "get out there." To me, it sounds so motivational, like someone's really cheering for me. We all know that get has a huge range of meanings, and out there means out in the world. The meaning of this phrase is still a little hard to understand, especially because with common phrases like this, context is super important. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of this phrase used in other videos.
Get out there. When you see something that is funny out there, tweet about it.
I'm begging you to manage expectations out there.
Okay, so based on these examples, we can see that when you say "get out there" to someone, it means it's time for action. I'd say that this phrase is most often used in the command form. You say get out there to someone to really motivate them.
I want to get out there and do more interesting stuff. I want to live a little. I want you to want to do it too.
Everybody ready to say goodbye to our solar system? To our galaxy? Here we go.
Here we go is an informal phrase that you can say when you're about to start something, usually something difficult like an exam or a long run. But English is also a really sarcastic language. So although we usually say here we go to indicate that we're about to start something, we can also use it to be a little bit insulting or rude. For example, I had a teacher in high school who would always tell the same jokes in the same order. It got really boring. So when he started to tell those jokes, my classmates and I would always say, here we go, to mean like this is going to be boring. So remember, it's important to know the context of this word. If you say, here we go, it can mean that you're kind of insulting someone or what they're about to say, or you can say,
Here we go!
Want to get down fast, don't we?
Actually, we want to get there in one piece.
Hang on.
Hang on means to hold tight to something. Obviously, in the context of the movie, Matthew McConaughey says to hang on because they're about to blast off in a rocket. Use this phrase anytime that anyone has to physically hang on to something. Hang on, I drive fast. We hang on to the rope when climbing. This phrase can also be used to ask someone to wait in an informal way. Hey, we're late for the game. Let's go. Hang on, I'm coming. If you're finding these phrases useful, make sure to give us a thumbs up.
We have a mission. Our mission does not work if the people on Earth are dead by the time we pull it off.
So you probably know what work means. It means you go to your job, you work, and you get paid. But there's another meaning that's slightly different for work in English. In this case, work means to give good results or to function. For example, in order to work, the car must have gas. Is that machine going to work correctly?
That's kind of the way it works, you know, and I was below average.
We got this far, farther than any human in history.
For this phrase, let's look at the individual words first. Get, to reach or arrive. This, used as an intensifier. And far, at or to a point of progress. Usually this phrase is used in the past tense because we use it to reflect on the progress that we've already made. But we use this phrase only when we've made it part way to our goal. This goal could be physical. Maybe you ran a race or you're on a journey like in the movie. Or it could be abstract, like trying to watch a whole TV series. The meaning of the phrase really heavily depends on your intonation. For example, in the trailer, we can see that Anne Hathaway's character is upset when she says, "We got this far." In other words, she recognizes that they didn't reach their goal, but they made it a good part of the way. But if I decided to go on a 10-kilometer run and I get 8 kilometers into my run and I say, well, I got this far, it could mean that, wow, I'm excited that I'm almost to my goal. I'm going to keep going even though I'm tired.
I'm not gonna make it!
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm not going to make it is a great idiom that you will definitely hear again as you continue your English journey. First, let's look at the individual meanings of the words that make up the phrase. I'm not going to indicates that we're talking about future plans, and the not makes it negative, something we won't do in the future. And in this case, make means to carry out or perform, and it refers to something discussed earlier. So altogether, I'm not going to make it means that you're not going to be able to finish something that you had started earlier. Of course, you can also say, I'm going to make it when you are going to complete that thing. We typically use this phrase to talk about things that are difficult to do. In this scene, Anne Hathaway panics and says, "I'm not going to make it," because she's stuck under some metal and there are giant waves coming towards her. Make sure to listen to the pronunciation of this phrase. If you want to sound like a native speaker, don't say, "I'm not going to make it." Listen to how Anne Hathaway says the phrase.
I'm not gonna make it.
I'm not gonna make it. Like with any language, native English speakers always blend words together when they're speaking. This is a great opportunity to practice. You can also use this phrase as a polite way to say that you won't be able to attend an event. "Hey, sorry, but I'm not gonna make it tonight. I feel really sick."
You might have to decide between seeing your children again and the future of the human race.
We'll find a way.
I love this phrase because it's so positive. Although you can use "will find a way" to talk about literally finding a path or a way, for example, if you get lost when driving, it's more common to use it to talk about finding a solution to a problem, usually a difficult one. You can see here that in this case, find means discover or come upon, which is very accurate for this movie. The two main characters are stuck in different times and dimensions, and although it seems impossible for them to get home, they say that they'll find a way. I'm gonna leave a link for a free copy of the transcript for this trailer so you can go back and review these words later. Learning idioms and phrases in another language is never easy, but paying attention to the details in movies is going to give you a huge advantage. We've prepared a video for you where we outline tons of different idioms and phrases that are common to hear in American English. It's right over here. I'll see you over there.